Did you just suddenly want to become a missionary?
That's a good question. I took my first mission trip in 2007, and I didn't realize, or I'd never been outside of living in the way we live, the area that we live and the lifestyle we live. And after my mission trip, I found out that over 90% of the world doesn't live like we live. We're in the top 10% of wealth and just lifestyle of living. We can do what we want to do. We have a house that has a floor, not just dirt. So, no, the answer is I didn't automatically want to become a missionary. It's just God spoke to me about stop living for myself and help other people. But it took till 2007 to see how other people lived to really open my eyes to want to become and help, start becoming a missionary and help others.
What did your family think about this? They just wanted to become a missionary.
Miss Julie was okay with it, and Sierra was, I mean, you know, Sierra at that age, you guys were buddies, so Sierra really didn't have much to say about it. So the immediate family was fine. The extended family, very unhappy. Very unhappy. They were unhappy that we were taking grandchildren away and that we were moving away. Miss Julie has a very close relationship with her family, and just a lot of kickback. Church was very supportive, but family, not so much. I mean, they weren't rude but they were unhappy that we were moving.
Where's the area in Belize that you work? Is it central or?
It is central. We are right near the capital, but the capital is one of the smallest capitals in the world. It's only about 15,000 people living in Belmopan, which is the capital of Belize. And we live two little villages outside to the west, down the Western Highway, and our village has about, 1,500 people in our village. And our ministries are in Belmopan. Miss Julie works for an organization, or works with an organization it's called Child Development Foundation, and they help build awareness for the sexual trafficking in Belize. And I help with that too, but I also help with one of the children's homes. It's called Marla's House of Hope, and it's a girls' home. And I have been a board member for that for probably 6 years, and just help get asset to them, help feed them, we just actually brought them to the property yesterday, and we watched a movie and we played on the property. And those are two areas of ministry besides the camp. The camp we are at is called the Baptist Training Center, and we house mission teams and local church groups.
What are some of the problems in the area that you mission to?
Well, one of the biggest ones that we mission to are the two that I mentioned, which is the Child Development Foundation, which is sex trafficking. Here, there's a situation called the sugar daddy, which is you have a wealthier person will go in and offer to pay for a family's food, their housing, their schooling of all their children. But when he does that, he wants access to the children or to the boys, the girls, the mother. He wants access to whatever he wants to do with them, usually sexually related. Another one that I'm with is the children's home, just helping to deal with children that have been abandoned or abused. In Belize, there's not a lot of, what's the right word? There's parents that are here. They're just abusive, and that's why the children get taken out. They're not, I can't think of the word. Help me with the word here, Tim.
Suitable?
They have parents.
They're not suitable parents?
No, well, they're not suitable as parents, but a lot of other countries, the parents are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Here, that's not the case. They're abusive, and there's a word I'm looking for, but it's not foster. It's, they're abandoned.
Yeah.
Here, they're not necessarily abandoned. They're removed from the homes because of abuse.
Right.
I can't think of the word I'm looking for.
What were some of the triumphs and difficulties when you moved there? Was it hard to minister there?
You know, and that's another great question. It is very hard, to be honest, to be here because it's not like it is where we're from, or where we've lived our entire lives. The banks are different. Getting food is different. I mean, where I live is different. I'm kind of out in the bush, out in the country. You can kind of see a tree behind me. I don't know if you can hear the birds around me, but I'm out, kind of like where you are. I mean, you're on the river, but you have somebody close to you. Just dealing with the banks. The banks are very difficult to deal with. Everything down here is relationship based. You have to build the relationship before you can get any place. So before you start telling people about Jesus, you have to go visit them for a year and say, hey, how's it going? What's going on? I mean, you really have to get to know them. In our society, it's just you. When your dad goes and does sales calls and he says, hey, I have this product. This is the product. Are you interested in it? Here, you'd have to go for them for 2 or 3 years. It probably might be like that with your dad, too, and try to get them to work with the product you have. But it's just everything's relationship-based, which is completely different than how we normally do life where we're from. And that's just really frustrating. And the government's corrupt, and the police are corrupt, and everybody's always asking for money, which is not always wonderful. Got to tell them no a lot. We just don't give out money straight. We give out money through relationships. We've learned to do that since we've been here.
What are some of the triumphs that you've had there?
You know, in the Bible, it talks about our battles are not against flesh and blood. Our battles are against spirits and principalities. And that has been the biggest battle here, is just the spiritual battle, the spiritual warfare that we've taken on. When we first got here, we had issues with Sierra in school, her acting out and being disruptive. Some other, we've had marriage issues. We've had issues with Miss Julie and I about just being able to clearly communicate and live in this environment and still maintain a healthy relationship with our marriage. With the locals, even with them, they still spiritual battles, and getting to talk to them through these battles. Your battle's not against your neighbor; it's against the spirits and the evil that's around. And because we don't have the access to all of the things we have in the States, we have to rely on God a whole lot more to deal with those battles for us.
All right. Do you
What else you got?
Do you homeschool?
I didn't hear because I was talking.
Do you homeschool, or is there a school that all the kids go to?
We actually do both. We just started homeschooling Sierra in January. She went to a school, and the boys go to a school called Belize Christian Academy. And they have about 300 kids in their school. It's a kindergarten all the way up through high school. And it's a Christian-based, run by a board of directors that are Christian, started by some missionaries. So the answer is yes, we do both.
So, what else do you have to do to minister? You couldn't just go in and minister, or could you? Like
in what sense are you talking? Like telling them about Jesus ministering, or just loving on them, or?
Yes. Can you just go in and start ministering?
No, you could, but it's more relationship based here. It's more, you have to get to know them for them to be able to trust you, for them to be able to accept and believe what you're telling them about Jesus, that He is the way and the truth and the light, and that it's just a difficult. It's difficult because, like, in the States, you can just tell somebody and they take you for your word most of the time. Here, you really have to build that relationship, and we're seeing the benefit of building that relationship before we do that.
So if you build that relationship with one person, would they help you minister to other people in their tribe?
That actually does happen. That happens. We're able to like when we bring our home church in, we're able to take them to the children's home because they have a relationship with me. They trust the people that I bring from the church.
Mm-hmm.
So it does work that way. And if we bring some teams to our house that come down, not our house, our church, and we get them to stand up and speak to people, it does work that way because of the relationship we have with them. But that's also a good question, because a lot of people don't understand that